It's Jané, Ramey. It's not pronounced as it's spelled. Yes, it is. There's an accent on the E, and it's ought to mean a gem in French. Well, like you, I'm an only child for my mom. It's an interesting story. I would have rekindled my relationship with my biological father when I was 19 years old. And I belong to a very pluralist space. So knowing difference and diversity is something that is, I think, innate to me. I like to credit myself for that because I'm Trinbagonian. But it was an interesting process seeing people who looked like me and resembled me and came from different backgrounds and had different stories, and I was so glad that I had an opportunity to surrender to that process of forgiveness, and the way that has a relationship now in my life and has expanded my ability to represent others. I've really I've benefited from going through that process. Yes. A master's in social work. I would have had a certificate and a bachelor's in social work and social policy, and now I'm doing my master's. Needless to say that I love the profession. It affords me an opportunity to develop my skills and become a professional change agent that I think is very important and transferable to any aspect of my life, and the way that I'm able to take up space and empathize with people and understand socioeconomic context, how I'm able to provide support in a way that is meaningful and solution-oriented. I love my work. And of course, being a Children's Services Associate at the Children's Authority, I work with children in need of supervision. So those children who have been charged and arrested for crimes, I'm able to understand very much like my own family now, the complexities of family composition in the Caribbean region and in Trinidad and Tobago, and find meaningful ways that will work. That will work for the time, the space that we're in, and of course for the families that I work with. So that's one of the reasons why I continue to pursue it. And I'm hoping that, of course, through my platform here, I'm able to build more context and understanding of children living with disabilities and children who are migrants and displaced, so that I'm able to better lend and support on the research that I'll be doing, which of course is children with disabilities, luckily enough. Well, that's so funny because I don't think I am the best candidate. What I can tell you is that I have been lucky to be brought up by a community who's invested in me, and I'm a product of their service. And it's through their service I'm able to feel that I am better equipped to represent others. This position allows me to speak. This position allows me to feel and represent and build relationships with not only community and organizations, but it will afford me an opportunity to build a platform where others who really need this light can benefit from it. So I'll tell you a story. Okay. My mother, I was born in 1997. Wendy Fitzwilliams was crowned in 1998, that's right. Yeah. And since she was crowned, my mother told a story that I would be the next person to bring home the Miss Universe crown. Now I'm 3 years old at this point, so it's difficult to project. And going through the Miss World experience emboldened me in a way that helped me understand what representation looks like and feels like. And that was not only true for that time, but I would have also represented and played national volleyball for about 5 years. So I know what national pride feels like, and I know the importance of it and responsibility. And so this journey of Miss World was essentially me building ammunition for this platform. Whether or not I leave with the crown, I know that my task here and my duty here is to represent, and that's what I'll be doing. Oh gosh, that you are not the star of the show, first of all, and that your team is depending on you. They're depending on you to do your job in your position, so that the collective can benefit from it, so that we can all play. So that individual responsibility that is connected to the whole is so important, and I see it even now when I interact with the women who are here. And when we talk about jazz, you know that jazz is unique for being able to play it in a band, of course, but what is distinctive about it is when each individual artist gets to play. So when the trumpet's playing, when the bass is playing, and the team supports and celebrates that I think is a beautiful symphony and the music that we get out of this process. Because it allows you to first of all, acknowledge that feeling of hurt, and then strip away and filter what is exactly important, what is the lesson that has to be learned. So that filtering happens when there's submission to your feelings, submission in spite of your feelings. Yeah, and I think that skill is going to be able to be transferable in anger, in pain, and suffering, and it makes me a little bit more resilient, I think. I like to think. Yes.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Yes. Take care.